Welcome learners to the best math channel in the world. So your busy made it easy channel. The only channel is fierce when it comes to mathematics. Yes. So we are here once again to have another interesting lesson. Today's own, we are going to go through the just ended BEC mathematics question. If today is your first time seeing us, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share for everyone to also have a benefit of the channel. So those who started following the channel to the right, the BEC, they give testimonies that the channel has been very helpful to them. So I know, and I'll encourage each one of you to keep subscribing, keep watching for more interesting lessons, because most of the topics on this channel that has been simplified came into the BEC. I'm going to take my time to take you through the just ended BEC step by step from question 1 to the last question. And my general impression on this year's BEC is also one of the easiest questions WAEC got, because it was easy and straightforward. That every student, every serious student who take mathematics lessons here will be getting the ones and the twos in the questions that came. So we are not going to waste much time here. We are quickly going to solve the first question, or question 1, for which student will solve for 15 marks, 15 cool marks. So as the question is on the screen, say given that A is 1, 2, 3 dash 11, you have to list the prime numbers in K. Then II says that you find the probability that the number is selected at random from the set K is not a prime number. The reason why I'm saying this channel was beneficial, and they said the channel was beneficial to them, was that this question 1 is, and probability has been simplified. I've made about 5 videos on probability from the beginners to the advanced level. So if you follow the channel, this question should be a cool chop for you. Yes. And the B is also factorization, for which is also available on this channel. The C, which is normal business math, that if you apply, you'll be able to do it. So let's see. So question 1A. Question 1A, the set was given, and I've explained to students, I've said it to students, that anytime you see a question like this with a set not completed, the best thing for you to do is to complete the set. Yeah, so set K, we're given 1, 2, 3, up to 11. It means there are missing numbers. So K, you have to list the numbers of A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the first thing you have to do. Yes, this is the first thing you have to do by listing the element in K. Complete it, because you are going to use this to answer the questions that follows. So the I says list the prime numbers in K. So I, prime numbers. Prime numbers. If you don't know prime numbers, how can you list it? You have to know even numbers, prime numbers, composite numbers. What are prime numbers? Prime numbers are numbers with exactly 2 factors. Numbers with exactly 2 factors, which is 1 and the number itself. Yes, 1 and the number itself. And numbers having more than 2 factors are composite numbers. Yes, are composite numbers. So 1 is not a prime number because the factors of 1 you get only 1. 2 is a prime number because the factors of 2 is 1 and 2. 3 is a prime number. 4 is not a prime number. The factors of 4, we have 1, 2, and 4. The numbers that can divide 4, we have 1, 2, and 4. So 5 is a prime number. 6 is not a prime number. 7 is a prime number. Don't be confused. Most students think that 3 is a prime number, 3, 5, 7, it means 9 will be a prime number. No, 9 is not a prime number. The factors of 9, we have 1, 3, and 9. So don't get confused on that. So from that, 10 is not a prime number. So our next prime number is 11. Yes. That's what I'm saying. The question was straightforward. That if you take your math lesson serious, you'll be able to do it. So prime numbers. In the set K, we have 2, 3, 5, 7, and 11. Yes, 7 and 11. So let's see the II. Probability that a number is selected at random from the set K is not a prime number. Yes, number that is not a prime number from K. You have listed the prime numbers. Yes, so not numbers, not prime numbers. So I will encourage you to list them. Numbers that are not prime numbers. So we have 1 here, then we have 4, then we have 6, then we have 8, we have 9, we have 10. These are numbers that are not prime numbers. Yes. So probability of numbers not prime numbers. Yes, probability of taking a numbers that are not prime numbers are numbers that are not prime numbers all over the total numbers. Yes, total numbers. Numbers that are not prime numbers all over the total numbers. Now, these are the prime numbers. These are numbers that are not the prime numbers. Let's count the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 6 numbers. Out of the total numbers, how many numbers do we have here? 1 to 11 is 11. So probability, we have 6 out of 11. Probability, if the numbers, you need to simplify them. Yes, simplify them, you have to. 6 and 11, there's no common number that can divide them. So the answer for question 1A is 6 out of 11. That's why I'm saying this was one of the easiest questions that students answered this year. So this is question 1A. And probability has been treated. So those who watch or who have watched the probability videos, you will be able to answer these questions easily. So let's take the D on this. So the D, as is also on the screen, say we have to factorize completely. Bracket open x plus y, bracket close, bracket open 2m minus m, bracket close, minus m, bracket open x plus y. This under factorization. Factorization is available on my channel. Yes, factorization is available on my channel. So the question was x plus y, then another bracket 2m minus m x plus y. The questions are straightforward but tricky. Yes, the questions are straightforward but tricky. You have to think. Yes, you have to apply. Now I've treated factorization on my channel. And in factorization, I've explained to you that when you are solving a question, you get maybe something like, so let's say minus k x plus y. What you do is that because the numbers in the bracket are the same, we pick the numbers outside each bracket. Then we combine, because these ones are the same, we pick one of them. Yes, we pick one of them. But this question, what do you see here? You can see that we have common term here, common term here. Yes, common term here, common term here. So what you have to do is that you pick one common term, then you combine this one. See, this is attaching to this. This is also attaching to this. The same idea here. This attaching to this, we pick this and this one, and we pick one of this. And because we have common term here and common term here, we pick one of this in one bracket, then we pick this with this in another bracket. This is what you need to understand. So this is what I mean. So we are going to have x plus y in one bracket. Then in another bracket, we have 2m minus n in another bracket. Yes, that's the principle of factorization. Principle of factorization. But when you look here, we are not done. There are like terms that we can do, or we can group them. So we have x plus y giving us 2m minus m minus n. So this side will give us x plus y in one bracket 2m minus m. So this 1m. This will give us m minus m. So this will give us the solution to this that students were asked to solve in the just ended BC. That's why I'm saying it is very straightforward and easy. Yes, it is straightforward and easy. So let's quickly go through the C. If you don't understand factorization, I've taken my time to simplify it on my channel. There's a playlist for that you can check. If today is your first time, subscribe. So keep watching as we take question C. The C, the one C says a typist charges 68 cedis for the first A sheet type and 11 cedis for each additional sheet. Calculate the amount N if the typist type a total of 35 sheets. Interesting. So, you know a typist. Yes, like when you go to a printing press, those who type your questions or any document for you. And his policy when you go there is that he charges 68 cedis for the first 8 sheets. Yes, no matter the number of sheets he types for you or she types for you, the first 8 is going to charge 68 cedis for them. And aside that, any additional, yes, he charges 11 cedis for additional. Yes, for additional. So here, our 35 sheets, how much are we going to pay for our 35 sheets? How much are we going to pay for our 35 sheets? So what you have to understand is that now, you know that since he charges 68 for the first 8 sheets, already, yeah, if he has not even charged you, you know that for the first 68, first 8 sheets, you have to pay 68 cedis. Yes, and the 11 cedis for any other. So first of all, let's find the sheets left. The sheets left is going to be 35 minus 8. So 35 minus 8, which is going to give us 27 sheets. Yes. So now you have taken your 8 from the 35 because the 8, you are going to pay 68. So it means the 11 cedis only applies on the 27 sheets. Yes, because this is additional. So the first 8, assuming you went there to type a sheet, it's going to charge you 68 cedis. But if it is 1, even if you type, when you go there and type 9 sheets for you, 9 sheets means there's extra 1 additional. So additional 1, he's going to charge 11 cedis for that. So since we know the cost of 8, we have to find the cost of what? The 27 sheets. So cost of 27 sheets. The cost of 27 sheets, which is going to give us 27 times 27 times how much does it charge? 11. Yes, 27 times 11. Yeah, so when you multiply 27 by 11, you are going to get 297. Yes, you can do your calculation. 297 with a vertical method. So when you multiply this, you get 297 cedi. So the extra cost you are going to pay is 297 sheet. That's for the extra 27. Are you okay? But the question says that we should find the amount N if the typist type a total of 35 sheets. Now already he has taken the 68 cedis and there's an additional 11, 27 for which he has taken 297. So the total cost, yes, the total amount N. So the typist total amount N is going to be the 68 series for the first 8 plus the 297 for the additional 27 we type. So when add 68 to 297, we are going to get 365 Ghana cedis. So the typist is going to earn 365 Ghana cedis. It's very simple if you understand the question and what you are doing. So this is the C of the 2026 BEC that students were asked to answer. The typist was charging 68 cedis for the first 8. So let's say you type, when you went to the typist shop, you type, or he typed 10. The 10, you are not going to pay 11 for each. You are going to pay 68 for the first 8 sheet. Then you pay 11 cedis for the extra 2 that will be added. So this is what the question was telling us. But here he was able to type 35 sheets. And with the 35 sheets, you have to take the 8 sheet from the 35 to know the extra you are going to apply the 11 cedis on. Yes. So when you finish, you multiply the 27 by the 11, then you add the amount to the 68 cedis, and you get the total amount. So the question 1, students were asked to answer for cool 15 marks. So let's take question 2. So the question 2 says the image of P25 when translated by vector R is negative 3, 8. Find R. That's I. Then II says the image of Q1 of Q negative 4, negative 6 when translated by R. This under transformation. And under transformation, yes, I'm going to simplify it on this channel as well. But before then, you need to understand something. When something is translated, let's say, is it A, 1, 2, it's translated by a vector, vector 4, 3. How do we get A1? To get A1, when a translation vector is given to you, means we add. So you are going to add the translation vector to the object or to the point. So this is what I mean. So A is 1, 2. So you add it to a translation vector 4, 3. So 1, 2, then we have 4, 3. For which when you add, you're going to get 5, 5, 5, 5. So which will be the image of A. But here, the question is very tricky that you need to think. It's the same thing you need to apply here. Here, they've given you point P. They've given you point P. Point P as 2, 5. No vector was given. Yes. So, is that the image of P, 2, 5, when translated by vector R, is negative 3, 8. So, the vector R, we don't know. And they said it gave us negative 3, 8. Negative 3, 8. It gave us negative 3, 8. So, the image, point P, was translated by a vector and gave us this, which means P1. So this is what you need to understand. So what you need to understand is that the point plus the translation vector will be equal to the image. This is what you need to understand. Any point given with a translation vector you add to get your image. Yes, so this one, what you need to understand is that the point P plus the translation vector will give us the P1. Yes, will give us the P1 or the image. So what is point P? Point P is 2, 5 plus R. will be equal to the P1 that was given negative 3, 8. Negative 3, 8. So if you are looking for the vector R, you use simple equation. So this is here already. Negative 3, 8. So this will be negative 2, 5. So our R, so we are going to subtract. So negative 3, negative, we have fetched the 2. Then we have 8 minus 5, which is going to give us negative 5, then 3. Negative 5, 3. So R is negative 5, 3. So the vector that was added to this, to get this, which is the image of P, was negative 5, 3. So this is how you solve it. Yeah, this is how this is solved. This is how this is solved. This is how this is solved. So this is for I. So the II. So the II says that the image Q1 of Q, when translated by R, the image Q1. So here we are looking for the image Q1. Yes, when translated by this vector. So what you need to understand is that Q plus the vector R should also give us the Q1. Yes, so the question says we should find Q1. Yes, which is the image of Q when translated by the same vector. So the Q plus the vector R now you have solved already should give you this. One thing you need to know is that if you solve this wrongly, everything you do here too is going to be wrong. So you need to be very careful. So our Q, according to the question, our Q was giving us negative 4, negative 6. Now plus our vector that we have calculated for, that's negative 5, 3 is equal to the Q1. So vectors, we put them in one bracket. Positive, negative will be negative. Take note of that. I'm going to treat vectors, addition and subtraction of vectors here. So positive, negative, negative 5. Then we have negative 6. Positive, yes, so positive 3. So give us the Q1. So negative 4 minus 5. You're owing 4, you want to borrow 5 again will be negative 9. Then negative 3 plus, negative 6 plus 3, you're owing 6 and you trade 3. Going to be negative 3. Which is equal to Q1. So the image Q1 is negative 9, negative 3. So coordinate, you write a coordinate like this. Anytime you write anything in this form, it is a vector. The vector is written like this. So your final answer, make sure you leave the answer in there. So our answer will give us negative 9, negative 3. So the question 2B, as Joyce and Richard contributed 10,000 Ghana cedis, 5,000 Ghana cedis respectively to start a business. They agreed that Richard will be paid 1/3 of the profit as a manager, and the rest of the profit will be shared in the ratio of their contribution. If the profit of 9,000 Ghana cedis was shared or made, how much did I, Joyce, received? I, Richard, received. Ratio and proportion will also be available soon on this channel. Now, this question is also simple and straightforward. Now, this is what you need to know. So, Joyce contributed how much? 10,000. Then Richard. Yeah, Richard also contributed 5,000. But there was an agreement that any profit they make, because Richard will serve as a manager, he will be paid 1/3. So 1/3 of the profit will go to him because of the role he's going to play. Then after that, any amount left will be shared equally according to their contribution. Yes. So Richard So Richard row will also will give him 1/3 of the profit. Yes, Richard will be taken, or Richard will be paid 1/3 of the profit. So first of all, let's find the amount Joyce received. Yes, let's find the amount Joyce is going to receive. Yes, to find amount Joyce received, what we have to understand is we have to know this one, their ratios are the amount. Some the ratio will be given. Here the ratio is said according to their amount. The ratio represents the amount. Some the ratio should be given to you. So before then, I have to know, or we have to know the amount left. Sorry, I have to even base the total profit. The profit they made during the time was 9,000 Ghana cedis. They made a profit of 9,000 Ghana cedis. So let's see the amount left to be shared. So amount left, you have to find Richard's 1/3 from this amount. So 3 can divide here 1, 3 will divide 9, 3. So this one is going to be 3,000. So Richard is receiving 3,000. Yes, out of the amount. So the 3,000 will be set aside for Richard because of the role he's going to play. So the amount left is going to be the 9,000 profit minus the amount Richard is receiving as a manager. So 9,000 minus 3,000 is going to give us 6,000. Yes. So this is the amount they are now coming to share. Yes, they are now coming to share the 6,000 according to their contributions they paid, according to their contribution. But their ratio was 10,000 is to 5,000. So for me, I'm going to break them down to 1 here, 2. So 2 on 1, which is the same as 2 is to 1. Yes, 2 is to 1. Joyce was receiving 10,000. Richard was receiving 5,000. So I'm breaking down their ratio in 2 is to 1. Or you can still use the total amount. Calculate it. So amount Joyce received. You are now coming to answer. So you have to find the total ratio. The total ratio will be 2 plus 1, which will be 3. Then amount Joyce received. So Joyce ratio is 2. Out of the total ratio 3, and the amount left for them to be shared 6,000. So 3 can divide here 1, can go here 2,000. So we have 2 times 2,000, which is going to give us 4,000. It's going to give us 4,000. So Joyce is going to receive 4,000 Ghana cedis. Yes, Joyce is going to receive 4,000. So amount Richard receives. Yes, amount Richard receives in total. One thing you need to understand is that Richard has taken 3,000 as his role as manager already. And they are coming to share 6,000 again. And out of the 6,000, Joyce has taken 4,000 already. Yes, so Richard's amount is going to be the money he has received as the manager, which is 3,000, plus the amount the total ratio or the total amount they shared minus Joyce's amount, which is the 4,000. That will be the total amount Richard is going to receive. This is one way I'm doing it. So this one is going to give me 3,000 plus 6,000 minus 4,000 will give you 2,000. So meaning in total, Richard is going to receive 5,000 Ghana cedis. In total, Richard is going to receive 5,000 Ghana. Yet still, you can use Richard's ratio. Yes, Richard's ratio. Richard's ratio was what? 1. Yes, Richard's ratio was 1 out of the 3 times the 6,000. And when you divide here, you are going to get 2,000. So you see, it still gives you the 2,000. Yes, so Richard is going to receive. Right? The one thing about ratio is that when you finish each amount received, add it and see if it will be equal to the total amount they receive. Here, Richard has received what? 5,000. Joyce has received what? 4,000. When you add, it gives you 9,000. What was the total profit they were to share? The total profit they were to share was what? 9,000, which makes our calculation correct. Yes, which makes our calculation correct. So this is the question B. Yes, adding to the A that I did, the students were asked to solve for cool 15 marks. Yes, I said it's cool because if you take your maths lesson serious, these questions are straightforward that you can answer them. So keep watching as we take question 3 on this. So the question 3 says, Asana was engaged to collect cashew fruit on the farm and was paid a wage of 25 cedis a day. If the daily wage was increased by 10% and she worked for 30 days, how much will she be paid? So this one, I'm going to show you 2 ways to solve this. So the method one here is, I'm going to multiply the daily wage, the 25 cedis by 30. When I finish the amount I'm going to get, then I find 10% of that amount. Then the answer I get, I add it to the answer I got when I multiply the 25 by the 30. This is what I mean. So his daily wage, which was the 25 cedis. 25 cedis. And the day's work, 30 days. Yes, 30 days. So this is what I mean. So I'm going to multiply 25 by 30. So 25 by 30, for which is going to give me 750. So you can do that multiplication. So when I multiply, so initially I was supposed to receive 750, but they are saying the daily wage has been increased. So the increment, there has been an increment of 10%. So 10 on 100 times 750. So this will take here this will take here, this cancel. So 1 on 1 is 1, which will give me 75. So 75 cedis to be added to his money. So total pay is going to be 750 plus 75 cedis. So 750 plus 75 cedis will give us 825. Yes, 825. The person receives 25 cedis daily and work for 30 days. So you multiply. So there has been an increment of 10%. Oh, my wage has been increased by 10%. So you find the 10% on the total, then you add it to the amount. So this amount is going to receive. Now let's see method 2. The method 2, I'm going to find 10% on the 25 cedis he was receiving initially. So this, take this. So here I have 1 on 10 times 25. So for which is 1 times 25, 25 on 10. For which when you divide, you are going to get 2.5. So his daily wage has increased by 2 cedis 50 pesos. So 2 cedis 50 pesos, I'm going to add it. 25 cedis plus 2 cedis 50 pesos, for which is going to give me 27 cedis 50 pesos. Yes, so 10% has been added. So it's going to give me 20 cedis, 50 pesos. So now, total pay is going to be what? The total wage he received already. The number of days. So this one is 27 pesos times 30 days. Yes, 27 is 50 pesos times 30 days. When you multiply, you are still going to get 825 cedis. 825 cedis as well. Yes. So if you are wondering how to multiply the numbers, you write a 27, remove the decimal, then 0. So 0, 0, 0, 0. It will give us 0, 3, 5, 15, 5, minus 1, 3, 7, 21, plus 1, 20, 2, minus 2, 3, 2, 6, plus 2, 8. So 0, 0, 5, 2, 8. How many decimal places did we ignore? 2. 1, 2. That's why I said, yes, sometimes I just leave it out, but this is how we multiply the numbers. In case you are wondering how to multiply such number, this is how we do it. Yes. So each method used, you are going to get the same answer. It can only be simplified on this channel. Subscribe, keep watching as we take the question B on this. So the B says there's a diagram there. So the diagram above, or the diagram shows the floor of a room with its dimension. Find the perimeter area, the cost of carpeting the floor. If the carpet costs 20 cedis per square meter. So this is how the diagram was given in this form. And this side was 3 meters, 8 meters, 8 meters. Then here was 5 meters. Then we have 5 meters. Now follow closely. I want to show you something. That's why I'm drawing the diagram. So this is 8 meters. Now what you need to understand is if you find perimeter. What is perimeter? Perimeter is total distance around the figure. Yes, total distance around the figure. So if I have a shape like this, and here is 10, here is 10, here is 20, here is 20. If I'm to find the perimeter, I have to find the total distance around. So if I'm starting from here, I have to move here, come here, come here, come here, and move here back to get the total perimeter. But you have to be careful here. There are some tricks you need to know here. Now already, here is 8. Good. Here is 3. But here to here is 5. And this is part of the distance. We don't know here. This is part we don't know here. But there's a clue here. This one you need to understand. If the long distance from here to here is 8, and the shorter one from here to here is 5, then when you join this side, what will be the distance from here to here? The distance from here to here is going to be 3. Because this long side is 8. This side is 5. So this shorter side is 3, which makes this side the same, which makes this side to 3 meters. Yes, we have to think and apply. This side is 3 meters. But when you add this side, when you join this side together with this side, they say we should get 8, which should be the same as the distance above there. Yes, now we've seen here. We can left with a small space here. And with this small space too, they are telling us that from this side to this side is 5. But this short side, size is 3. Yes, so to reach here, we need the shorter distance from here to here. So if this is 3 and this side is 5, it means the shorter distance here is going to be 2 meters. 2 meters, and that is all. So if you're able to know this, you can easily do your calculation. So first of all, let's find our perimeter. So perimeter. So the perimeter is going to be 8 meters, 3 meters, 5 meters, 2 meters, 3 meters, then we have another 5 meters. So the perimeter. So 8 plus 5 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5. So let's look here. Now 8 plus 3 is 11, plus 5 is 16, plus 2 is 18. 18 plus 18 plus 3 is going to be 21. Then plus 5 is going to be 26. So we are going to have 26 meters as our perimeter. So now our perimeter is going to be 26. Yes, perimeter is going to be 26. So this is the perimeter. So the axis, we should find the area of the floor. Area of the floor. So how do you find the area of the floor? Now pay attention. The same idea we use here. Now, this, when you cut this side off, this side, this side of forms what? A rectangle like this. Forms a rectangular shape like this. With here 8, with here 3. Exactly. And the downside also forms another rectangular shape. Why am I saying rectangle? Because here we indicate that here was 2 and this side is 3. Yes, I didn't use this side because this is for this longer side, but the shorter side here is 3. So if you want to know the area, so the area, you are going to have 8 meters times 3 meters, adding to 3 meters by 2 meters. Yes, so 2 separate shapes, 2 different shapes. That's what you need to understand. So 8 3 is 24 meters plus 3 2, sorry, 24 meters square is area. So plus this one will give us 6 meters square. So the total area of the field is going to give us 30 meters square. 30 meters square. So this is how we solve this. The image looks irregular, but you need to apply. So it can only be simplified here. So keep watching as we solve the question. I. So the IIS is the cost of carpeting the floor. If a carpet costs 20 cedis per square meter, so cost of carpeting the whole room. Yes, the whole room. So, and the cost of the carpet was 20 cedis per 1 meter square. This simple logic. Let's say your room. Yes, normally when you're going to buy a carpet, they measure the dimension of your room, then that will determine the yard you need to buy. So the dimension of the room, yes, inside, yes, the length with the breadth of the room will determine the carpet. So if you want to cover, so it means the carpet is going to be filled. It's going to fill the area in this form. Yes, each one with its length and width, so the area is full in the room. So this one we have calculated for the area already, which is 30 meters square. That's the area of the room. Yes. And one carpet costs 20 cedis. So how many of this do we need? So we need 30 of this. If we need 30 and one is costing 20 cedis, so it's going to give us our 20 cedis times the 30 meters square, for which when we multiply, we are going to pay 600. 600 Ghana cedis. So if you have a room like this, you are going to pay 600 cedis to get all your room covered. So this also ends the question. Okay, so this part, I've divided the question into two. We have solved the first three questions. The other three will also be available. So this is the solutions WAEC was expecting from the student who wrote the BEC, and it has been simplified. They have taken my time to explain it step by step. Yes, I've taken my time to explain it step by step. If today is your first time seeing, now don't forget to recommend the channel to all students, to all learners. And I said the channel is not limited to any level. So from the lower level to the advanced level, that is why, or that was why the channel was created. Keep subscribing, keep watching, recommend, and your A's are assured. You need any form of assistance in mathematics, preparing for exam, being classes, being NOVDEC preparation, you can also hit my DM, then you take it from there. Until we meet again, we say goodbye for now.